And welcome to an Eternium video that's been requested by a viewer of the channel. It's aimed primarily at new players. You've just reached level 70 with your very first character and you're wondering, okay, now what do we do? You're going to be very short of pretty much everything that you're going to need in the game. So hopefully this video will help aim you towards sort of things that you need to focus on in order to be able to push on further. So we need to distinguish between gems, which are the premium currency in the game, and gemstones, the brightly coloured gemstones that will drop from various creatures that you kill throughout. And let's start off with gems, the premium currency. It's actually given in quite nice quantities in this game. This is a completely free to play account, not a penny spent. We've got 17,000, so that's a nice balance to have. So there are multiple ways of getting those. We'll start off with if you want to support the game or throw some money since you've enjoyed so far, probably your best deal is this daily gems deal. 100 gems per day each day you play for 30 days, so 3,000 gems, lowest price on here, considerably cheaper than anything else. I would never recommend getting something like that. Bear in mind, if you do buy this item, you will have to log in each day for 30 days in a row to collect them all, so it's not 30 days spread out over 3-4 months if you're only logging in every few days. If you don't log in on a day, you will lose out on that day's gems. So if you are buying this, then make sure that you log in and collect those. As I said, this is a free to play account. We've got loads of gems, so how have we achieved that? Firstly, daily login rewards. There's a lot of gems available just through logging in throughout the month. And you can see I've not logged in every day on this account, so there's quite a number of rewards that haven't been collected, but you'll see that I have logged in and collected the gems on the days when they've been available. So that will net you a nice amount. Another thing that you'll need to focus on, you'll want to complete story all the way through to the end of Act 4, and that will unlock side quests which will bring you back to the start of Act 1. Run all the side quests as well, and the reason for doing that is it will then unlock, as you go along, various daily quests. Now daily quests will you'll get up to a maximum of 5 of these, so you'll get 20 gems per quest. So log in or get through those maps, do all the side quests as well, get through to the end of Act 5 again, doing the side quests. You can see where a side quest is active, and run that daily quest to collect the 20 gems. The other way that you'll collect gems is, you can see it says here run 5 plus 4 gems, so each time you run a map you complete a star on it. So you're looking to do something that's known in the game as 5-starring, where you'll go around the world, each difficulty mode, looking to do 5 stars on every map. Reason for that, you get 1 gem for the first, 1 gem for the second, 2 for the third, 2 for the fourth, and 4 for the 5th run. So that's 10 gems per map, and then you get to repeat that in heroics. We can see I've only done it twice there, and legendary, where I haven't even made a start on world 1 really in this account. If we quickly run this daily quest just to show it in action, so we should, when we finish this, end up with 4 gems plus 20 for the completing the quest. So this one is just kill 150 enemies. Really helps speed things along when you can blow things up nice and quickly like this. So you probably take you a bit longer than I'm going to take on this one. I'm going to open all these chests because why not? I like to gather everything up on this one. I'm not sure we're going to be strong enough to blow that up in one go. We'll do that one as well, and we can just go around and open these chests. There's another one up here. I did grab that one down there. So we've got +4 gems for completing that. We'll come out the map once we've got the gold and all the drops have come to us, and we can turn in the quest and get another 20 gems. So for getting your gems, if you're free to play, daily login rewards, daily quests, and 5-star the world. Now in terms of gemstones, you probably don't want to focus on those too much to start with as a new level 70. It really helps if you have Igneous Pillar of Flame and Glacius Tempestus weapons, so you might need to collect those even as just random drops in trials before trying to farm gemstones, because what you're looking for is a map with a lot of enemies on it that you can blow up very quickly, and when you have Igneous and Glacius Tempestus you've got these bonuses. So this first one is for thermal shock, which you probably won't be using on story maps, and Shatter, which is this second one, casting fire support ability, deals 3000% weapon damage to all the frozen creatures. I've got an in-depth video that looks at thermal shocks and shatters, so feel free to look at that if you so desire. But if you are out gemstone farming, one thing to bear in mind is that you will want to do it with a currency booster active. I'm going to come over and just look at some currency boosters. So I've got a 200% booster on this character, and the reason for that is that gemstone drop rate is increased by 400% when that booster is active. You're looking for a map that has high enemy density that you can get through nice and quickly. So this is the reason why I've said it's more useful when you've got the Grand Magister's Command weapon set. Morgenheim is probably your best bet, although the final boss at the end of it can take a bit of killing as a new character. So what you're looking to do is just run through. We can blow all these up in one go just using that shatter process. Let's round up a bunch of these. They're all dead. Kill him. And we're done there. So let's see how many gemstones. We started with none. And we ended up with 8, 10. Not a bad amount. 21 gemstones from that. But so you're looking for maps that you can get through quickly that have got a lot of enemies on them. But Morgenheim is your best bet for collecting those. I wouldn't make it a very high priority for collecting those. You'll collect some gemstones along the way. The other way of collecting them, I can't really demonstrate this on this account. I'm not taking part in this new beginning event, but during these events gemstone drop rates are increased as well, It's highest in Bronze League, Silver League has a slightly lower bonus, and Gold has the lowest bonus, but they're all better than playing outside of the event. And you can run trials with your experience gold booster, and you'll get a lot of gemstones drop out of those. You can also do that during things like war supplies events, running through trials with a currency booster, or even just running, for example, Morgenheim with that currency booster. You will get a lot of gemstones, and eventually you'll end up with so many that you won't know what to do with them. They're very handy, especially once you've got past that initial phase and you're starting to look at crafting jewellery. Now we'll look at jewellery crafting a bit later in the video, possibly. Okay, so things that should be very high on your priority list will be something mostly along the crafting lines. You'll want to increase your crafting mastery. So you can see I have mastery level 50, which is maxed out. You're looking at getting your crafting mastery level to a minimum of 25, because at crafting mastery level 25 you unlock the Master Crafter perk. Level 25 you'll have a 25% chance to gain an extra item level. So when you're a level 70 character, the highest level item that you can craft is a level 71, and then you're looking at this Master Crafter perk kicking in to try and get higher levels when you're doing the crafting. So here, when just as an example, let's just pick anything, any old stats will do, doesn't really matter, but you see the highest level item we can select is 71. So we want the crafting mastery Master Crafter perk in order to push up the levels. So that is a priority, raising your crafting mastery. I have a separate video in the new players playlist on crafting mastery and the perks and ways of raising your crafting mastery more efficiently. Obviously, in order to do crafting, you're going to need gold, you're going to need materials, and also you're going to need recipes. All the base gear or basic gear is ready unlocked over here. However, all the set items, which will include the Elemental Lord's Regalia gear that we're wearing here, needs to be unlocked first via recipes, which you purchase from Liana over here. I've bought them all already on this account, so I can't actually show you, but there'll be one recipe available for gold, and there'll be a whole load of others available for gems. Don't waste your gems on any of the gem items, just buy the one for gold. That item is then unlocked for the entire account, so you don't need to worry about trying to unlock it on any other characters. It might pop up, say you've come in on here on a mage and it's a warrior item up there, doesn't matter, just buy it. It won't ever be offered to you again. So when the refresh timer has counted down, you can click on the refresh button and it will give you a whole load of new offers, and again, just buy the one for gold. Eventually, as they drop out that selection pool, you'll end up with everything. So if you're looking at those recipes down here, I think they're 50,000 gold each, so that's going to be a lot of gold for a new player. It's very tempting just to click on this and say, okay, we'll blow some gems and get some gold. It's not worth wasting 100 gems to get 50,000 gold. If you just collect random drops, these are all specifically crafted, but anything with extra gold on it will help you build just a general gold farming set of gear. There's a number of maps that are useful for gold farming. Newish characters, Severed Mountain, this is one that I've used quite a few times in the past, where you can start, once you've run the map 20 times, you'll start very close to this end chest and you can get through nice and quickly. You'll be wanting to run with a currency booster. When I first started this account and I had a sort of very basic gold farming set, I think I ran with just a 25% currency booster, 50% currency booster, which gives us 100% gemstone drop increase and gold increase by 50%. Just running somewhere like Severed Mountain will get you enough gold to buy your crafting recipes as you go along if you do several runs there. If your gear's a bit better, then Darkhold Citadel is definitely the best gold farming map to go for. You'll be seeing that I'm getting random starts rather than running from the very start of the map. That's because once you've reached level 70, if you begin a map 20 times, then after that you'll get random starts. As you see, we get lots of gold drop out on this one. As a mage with our shatters, we get a fair few gemstones drop out as well from those runs. So you'll be mixing in some gold farming, probably with a lower booster than that one, just because it's probably a waste of gems early on to go with something high like that if you can't kill quickly. That's another 20 gems for the daily quests there as well. And also there was 10,000 gold, so that helps as well. So if you've unlocked all your daily quests, then there's 50,000 gold from doing the daily quests as well. So that was a handy reminder there. So crafting materials. Okay, so you'll also want to be running some trials, and the reason for running trials is that it will get you crafting materials and experience and the chance for some items to drop that you might not yet have recipes for. So the reason you want experience is you'll gain champion levels once you've reached level 70. Good news is you can assign your champion points however you like and reset them at any time and reassign them. Once you've reached champion level 750, you've pretty much got everything unlocked. Most of them have a limit as to number of points that you can put in, so 100 into crit rating, 100 points into crit damage, 100 into haste, 50, 50, 50, 50, 150's there. So the only one that's unlimited is power. So when you're on a crit build, once you're at 750, everything is going into power, so that tends to be one of the last things that goes in. If we replicate a champion level 450 character, so let's give ourselves 100 points into haste, and since we don't have any crit rating or crit damage on the gear that we've got here, we'll give ourselves some power. So let's give ourselves 50 life, 50 armor, 50 life on hit, and let's take 50 experience, 50 movement speed, and we'll take 50 into ability rate, so 450 champion points assigned. This gear is just haste, ability rate, experience, some basic jewellery, nothing special going on. It's all basic gear, the sort of stuff that you might end up with as a relatively new level 70 player. Probably won't have jewellery quite at that level, but we'll come to that later. Don't be afraid that even something as low as, I don't know, 40, this could take a while to get through. What you're looking for at this stage is you can probably gain a fair amount of experience just from running these maps while you're low champion levels, and this will help you build up some materials for crafting and gear. Actually, it's not going too badly. Since we don't have shatters and thermal shocks, we need to tackle smaller groups that we can try and keep control of, which makes our runs a bit slower. Let's just try and hit as many things as we can without losing aggro on too many of them. So you shouldn't be too worried that things will go slowly at this stage. That's completely normal. It can take quite a while to move up through the champion levels, so certainly don't be put off by it. So we don't want to lose aggro on too many. Should we run this full trial? Why not? Just to see what sort of drops we're getting at level 70. That's enough enemies at least to pull out the boss, as long as we don't lose aggro on them. Ah, there we go. So this frost beam isn't doing much damage at this stage, so that'll be something else that we need to consider as part of our things that we're aiming for in building a character. So from that run, got a set item. Not useful for this particular build, but it's materials that we can, or it's things that we can get rid of at the blacksmith if we don't need them. So there is a chance from there of the blacksmith at salvage. So if we salvage those, there is a chance for marker titans. We didn't get any, but as you run through those trials, you might get a drop that's actually useful. Just bear in mind, so here, let's say we've found an igneous, it's got useless stats, we don't care. Glacius Tempestus, again, with completely useless stats, we don't care. They together are far more powerful than having those items that we wanted. So if we were to run Troll 40 again with that exact same setup, hopefully this time it's not going to take anywhere near as long. Reason for that is that we now have Shatter and Thermal Shock coming into play, so we can actually pull in a lot more enemies and keep them aggroed and chasing us without having to deal with them all, kill them and move on to the next group. Obviously try and limit it to us. Don't pull too many if you're not that experienced in keeping hold of control of that many enemies, or your device isn't capable of handling millions of them on screen at once. So now we've got Kara out in under a minute this time. So just the addition of those weapons increased our speed by a minute at that troll. And just some random stuff which is going to end up as salvage, which helps build up materials. You'll probably start off mostly getting lesser essences and then essences as you move up through the trials. Once you're able to run sort of trial 80 plus, then you'll start seeing far more greater essences come out, which are required in crafting legendary gear. So let's look at something else that you're going to want, which is glory. So why do we need glory and how do we get hold of it? Glory is needed to unlock unique items that can be crafted at the blacksmith. So whilst you set items for armour and weapons, you buy recipes from Liana, unique items require glory to unlock. Just to demonstrate, so under belts, unique, and these items you can see with a padlock beside them or a locked sign show that I haven't unlocked those. Belts cost 10 glory each to unlock. There are trinkets as well to unlock. Again, there's lots of them that I haven't unlocked. If we first look at how you obtain glory, first up, it's obtained exclusively through events. So we can see here we've got 2 events running at the moment. We'll start off with the season, since these run quite regularly. So season rewards at the top of the screen. Just by playing the game you'll be earning season experience, and it starts filling up this middle experience bar, and there are various rewards that you collect as you level up from season level 1 right across at the left hand side here, all the way across to level 20. So at season level 2 there's some glory available to collect. I've not collected that on this character yet or on this account. There's some more at season level 4, some more at 6, more at 8. I'm guessing that's somewhere around 11, I wasn't counting. All the way through, and then a blob of glory at level 20 as well. So that's the easiest way, where you've just play at your own pace over something like 60-70 days normally. So we've got 2 weeks left of this season at the time of recording. Then there'll probably be a week or 2 of downtime, and then the next season will start and all this becomes available again. Collect these rewards, you just click on them and they'll drop into your mailbox, and then you collect them from your mailbox to your inventory. So I'll just demonstrate this one here. So that's gone into our mailbox. You see we get some crafting materials, which is helpful for new players. We've got 5 glory from there and an experience booster, all good stuff for new players. These things tend to be less useful outside of A and B events, depending on your gear and how high your champion levels are. These expert crafters crates are good because they give you essences rather than the lesser essence, so it helps you craft epic gear. Not a bad amounts that come out of those as well. So just running through the season rewards, you can collect them in any old order you like. You can see that one's collected, all these others below it still need to collect. I'm just going to do the rest of those in one hit at the end when I'm ready. The other event here at the moment is a new beginning. There's 3 flavours of this. Bronze League, which gives you 12 hours of play time to try and progress through as many of these reward tiers as possible, up to complete Troll 130 for 20 glory, Troll 120 for 15, Troll 100 gives you 15. You're probably thinking, oh, that's horrible, it's way too high at the moment. But you'll get 5 just for reaching character level 70 during that event. Complete Troll 30 is another 5, 10 if you get to level 50, so 20 glory there, certainly well within your reach. If you're brand new, first time event, nice target, try and get to 80. Those are sort of your stretchy targets for a brand new player without sort of a great deal of knowledge of the game. Silver League here you've got 9 hours to complete that, and gold is 6 hours, played out typically over about 9 days, so you need to figure out how you're going to use your 12, 9 or 6 hours over a 9-day period when those events are running. I don't always play these events anymore, but there's plenty of videos on the channel if you want to see me playing through AMB events. So in terms of items to unlock, as a mage, I think the first item I would go for is a Frostfire Sash. Reason for that is it's going to turn Frostbeam into Death Ray, basically. Cause the target to burn for 1000% weapon damage over 6 seconds. If you've got your Grand Magister's command, even with these crummy weapons and just basic gear, that's a huge amount of damage. And then once you have your Frostfire Sash, that's 10 glory. I would look at trinkets and throw 20 glory in on a vial of the Wind Spirit. The amount of damage this does, so as you're attacking you build up stacks, which is increasing your haste. When these stacks hit 10, you'll do a large amount of weapon damage all around you to all enemies. Very, very strong on trolls up to about 60 or 70. Which will really help with your clear times on those, which will help with your materials farming and your experience farming. Now the amount of damage done is dependent on the quality that you craft. So legendary is 15,000, I think it's 12.5 or 11.25 for epic, dropping to 7.5 for a rare. And I don't think I've ever seen uncommon used, but 3,750. But an epic, if you can craft one of those, excellent. It's a lot of extra damage. If you can craft a legendary one, even better. So we ran Troll 40 earlier. Let's just take a look at adding in. Now I said Frostfire Sash, do I have one sitting around? What we got? Let's take that one. And do we have a vial of Wind Spirit? Should have one. We don't. Let's just take a look and see how our Troll 40 goes now with the Frostfire Sash. Still with exactly the same gear, apart from that belt. It's no longer just a bog standard one. You should find that when we do eventually come to Frostbeam this slot, it should melt them with the added damage that we're going to get from the burning as well. Ooh. If anything survives. And Kara's out already. and we're going to be able to get a thermal shock off this, which has killed her, as we've now got that clear time from over 2.5 minutes to under a minute, and all we've added is Grand Magister's weapon set with rubbish stats, completely useless, but this Frostfire sash has helped knock an extra almost half a minute, or just over half a minute, off that clear time. So that's what you're aiming for as a priority as a mage, and then your trinket afterwards, and it certainly helps you then push up into higher trolls. The higher the troll, the better the drops, the better the drops, the better the salvage materials, and better salvage materials, the better items you can craft. So that's not a bad drop actually from the troll that we just did. Not that we want that, but that again, when we're seeing epics we get and set items, that gives us a higher chance for marker titans, which can be a bit of a pinch point as well when you're new to 70. And to finish up, we'll take a brief look at jewellery. I don't want to go into too much detail at this stage because I am working on an in-depth look at this. Now if you're a new player, you may notice as you play events in season, if you have bought the season pass, you'll notice that along the way in the rewards line you've got these jewellery boxes. I think you get 3 for this custom rare, and 3 more here and 3 more here, so 9 of those. Don't use those as a new player, just stick them in your stash, keep hold of them, save them for later when you can make perfect jewellery when you're looking at a much more rounded out character. Same again applies if you're in a new beginning events. You'll get 1 for completing troll 50, a second at 60 and a third at 65. So if you do suddenly find that you've got hold of those, don't use them in those events. Just do what I've done here, stick them in your stash, save them for when you're in a position to craft something perfect. Now what I'm going to quickly do is just drop in a quick overview of the principles behind jewellery crafting without going too in depth, and then we'll meet back up just to look at the and we'll just quickly make a rough set of jewellery which is more than adequate for your needs for quite a while. So okay, so from the absolute basics in jewellery crafting, this might look a bit intimidating to start with. When you craft jewellery over at the jeweller, you'll be getting these uncommon rings. Now you need to craft or fuse 3 uncommons to get a rare, 3 rares to make an epic, and then 3 epics to make a legendary. So in total you've got 27 uncommons, turning those into 9 rares, into 3 epics, into 1 legendary ring. That's the absolute sort of basics of it. What I'll do is quickly go through a sort of stat distribution. So we've got numbers added in at the top here, which are basically showing that the sort of how you'll distribute the stats as you go through for fusing up your rings. So we know that legendary items have 4 stats, these uncommons have 1 stat. We can have up to 2 on rare and up to 3 on epics. So 1 stat will have 9 uncommons which will fuse up into 3 rares, and those 3 rares will fuse up into 1 epic, and that will just be your first stat that you want. You repeat that process with stat number 2, so 9 of stat number 2, going into 3 rares, going into 1 epic, and then you've got 2 more stats, but we've only got 9 more rings that we can use, or 9 necklaces. So the best distribution is to do 5 of stat 3 and 4 of stat 4. So in this scenario we have these 3 stat 3s will make a rare with just stat 3. We have 2 stat 3s and 1 stat 4, which will make a rare with stat 3 and stat 4. And then finally 3 stat 4s will make this rare with just stat 4. When we fuse these 3 together, we end up with an epic with stat 3 and stat 4. And then when we fuse the 3 epics together, we've got stat 1, stat 2, stat 3 and stat 4 to give all 4 stats on the legendary. That might seem a bit scary, so let's take a look at that in practice. So let's just put that into practice. Over at Morgan the Jeweller, you see I've already got quite a few rings here. There's 2 ways of obtaining the ring or necklace that you're going for. Just select if you want a necklace or a ring. You got the random attribute approach, which costs gold. I highly recommend that this is the approach that you use. It does mean gold farming, so part of your balance around having gold for crafting, gold for buying material recipes, and you'll need gold to craft some jewelry as well. You can go down the change it from random attribute to, say in this case I'm missing 1 haste. I could go to haste here. Fine, that's going to cost me 17 gems. I do not recommend that you craft all your jewelry using this gems approach, because it's going to chew up your gem balance very quickly, and as a new player you're not going to have many gems. Let's just put that back to random and see if in these 6 attempts we get a haste. Probably not. Oh, we did, so we can use that one. So I'm just going to get rid of those 2 useless ones. So as we saw, we wanted 9 rings with stat 1. Stat 1 here is experience. I have 9 experience. Stat 2 I am going with haste. You might not want haste, you might go with crit rating, crit damage, experience and haste, for example, sort of stats that you might be lacking as a newish player. Since this is going on a character with Fire Lily, I don't need crit rating or crit damage. So we've got 9 of stat 1, 9 of stat 2. Down here is our stat 3, which is ability rate. I've got 3 there. There's number 4, there's number 5. And vitality, we've got 3 vitalities there and number 4 vitality down here. Now before fusing, we can go in, click on fuse, and it will just select 3 that are side by side, so the first 3 in a row. Before we do any fusing, we probably want to socket some of these just for slightly improved fuse results. The golden rule with socketing is if there is, you only socket gemstones into rings that have a corresponding stat. So haste, when I'm making sort of rough jewelry like this, and this is the approach I take in every a new beginning event, if I've just got 9 general haste rings, all I do is socket them with teardrops as I go through and make them, and obviously with some game knowledge I know that I can farm 2000 champion levels in bronze and silver with relative ease. So we've put no No gemstones into these because there is no gemstone for experience. We leave those blank. We've put all haste has got a teardrop in. They're relatively easy to get. We have ability rate, so we'll stick some teardrops into our ability rates. We had 5 of those. And vitality, so we want emeralds in those. And that just gives us slightly improved results when we fuse. So through the fusing process, we know that 3 uncommons is going to give us a rare. So we shall do that. It's going to do this, then this one, and it's just going to skip left and right. So perhaps we can stop it doing that by splitting all these up a bit. So we'll just do the experience for now. So we've got experience. That's given us, we need to do that. So we've got 3 experience rings, and again we can fuse those up into our epic, which is just experience again. And again, because there is no gemstone for experience to socket, we'll just fuse that up, and we've got our first epic with experience. We can repeat that now for haste. So you see we're going to get 128 haste. Let's just unsocket those just to see what the result would be without sockets. So 115, so adding in those teardrops just slightly boosts that a little bit. So we shall fuse those up. Again, that gives us, it would be 186, but we can throw in teardrops on haste. Now it's going to be 200 haste, so we'll fuse that up. That gives us our second epic. And let's go with these final ones. So we're going to do ability rate, our stat 3. Our stat 4 is vitality, and then we're mixing this one with ability rate and vitality. In terms of socketing these, this one's ability rate, so we'll throw in ability rate. This one's vitality, so we'll give that vitality. And this one, whichever one we want, really. I'm going to give it ability rate purely because I've got more teardrops. Not doing anything special at this stage, so we can fuse that one up. And there we go. And then the final stage is just to fuse socket these, and we'll end up with a legendary ring looking like this, which is much better than anything that we would get out of quest lines, and it will certainly do for farming for a long time. I would say if you're looking at making perfect jewellery, that's for your push when you've got lots of really good gear as well. You don't need those sorts of perfect items for a long time to come. So let's just finish this off. We can socket something into that one now. Probably don't need ability rate or vitality, so I'm going to stick haste in on all 3 of those. This is the only stage where you don't necessarily have to put in the corresponding gemstone. So that will give us 225 haste, 83 experience, 171 ability rate, and 156 vitality. So that is a much better ring that we can now go and equip on a experienced farmer. You can do that with crit rating, crit damage, which are probably stats that you will need more as a new player. On this gold farmer, that's just 27 uncommons fused all the way through to create a pure extra gold. Just done the same with the rings. So that is high level jewellery. There will be a much more in-depth look at that and how to create perfect jewellery with the magic 301 stat coming out in the near future when I have time to finish recording that one. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below. It's been a long video, so if you've made it all the way through, I hope you found it useful, and I shall see you again next time.